And here it is. Here we go. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Here it is. Here we go. Here I go. I'm here. Hope you're there. The session commences. Your company required. Happens twice a day. In some instances, we'll see how many times a day it happens in this instance. But it is happening right now. So if you are available, avail yourself of the session. One man went to mow. The eagle has landed.
Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran war, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 all the men will do is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 holy. Another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your Madika, Yabika Kokwanam Noah. Hey, Anamekele Maduche Mefo. Manemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along. Holy, 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 holy. It's another Savior. It's another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran war, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 all the men will do. They were singing out, holy, 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 all the men will do is another Savior. Holy, 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 all the men will do is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. And he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your Madika, Yabika Kokwanam Noah. Hey, Anamekele Maduche Mefo.
And there it is, right? Hold on, am I back? And there it is right there, the Holy Holy song from the eastern parts of the country. Bear with me. I'm actually just trialing something. All right. Okay. Let's press on. So Holy Holy song from the eastern part of Nigeria. So Holy Holy, as guys, I bring you this. Nigerian government grant over 16 trillion naira waiver to Dangote, Honeywell, others amidst ailing economy. So the budget for I think 2023 that they are passing through the through the parliament. I think it's round about that figure, 16 point something trillion, and the equivalent of Nigeria's spend in 1 year is what has been granted to Dangote and its paddy men. Nigerian government grants over 16 trillion naira waiver to Dangote, Honeywell, others amidst hailing economy. So quite what justifies this. But then, of course, they run off to China after that to go and borrow money using the oil wells and the national assets as a surety. 2023, Kiyamo reacts as Tinubu appoints Yahaya Bello, National Youth Coordinator. So it's an easy reach to appoint Yahaya Bello, of course, because that is his demography. I think it's still under 50, and that constitutes somewhat a youth within the Nigerian understanding of the word. But is this a wise choice or a controversial one? You tell me, but certainly Kiyamo has an opinion on it. 2023, Kiyamo reacts as Tinubu appoints Yahaya Bello, National Youth Coordinator. So what's going on there? We'll find out shortly. Okay, so from that to this, ruling APC presidential candidate Tinubu appoints Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello as campaign council youth coordinator. So we probably precede that with the headline that I just read to you now. So deviating from matters politics somewhat, what are we making of this? This is a human interest story. A human interest story. Nigerian woman rather. So Nigerian woman dies in crash during high-speed chase with husband who was allegedly with mistress. So you can already picture the scene. So there is the husband, you can imagine, driving in his car with probably certainly some female company at the passenger seat. Quite who that female company is, the wife is not yet determined, but perhaps the man known as a notorious philanderer. A Nigerian woman, KILLED, in crash during high-speed chase with husband, who was allegedly with mistress. So there it is right there. And with that singular act, she has now handed him totally to the mistress. Zoning designed to prevent Southeast North Central from producing president. Nwanyanwu is the person speaking now, Emmanuel Nwanyanwu, a name noted and long-standing within the Nigerian political space. Zoning designed to prevent Southeast North Central from producing president, a headline attributed to Emmanuel Nwanyanwu. So Emmanuel Nwanyanwu, and then this one now, the pushback and the aggression against the insurgency space, it looks as though it has ratcheted up somewhat. So we have discussed this guy previously, that he was being gifted the chieftaincy title in his local community whilst he was wanted in another state. But it looks as though Nemesis may well have caught up with him, or has it. How notorious bandit leader Bello Toji escaped bombing. So it looks as though they attempted at him, but they failed to secure the hit. How notorious bandit leader Bello Toji escaped bombings. So we find out exactly another failed attempt by the Nigerian state. So plenty to go through. Lean back, kick back, take it easy. So lean back, kick back, take it easy, relax into it. The usual protocol. Click on the like button as you're coming in. Click on subscribe if you haven't already. And I want everyone that is watching the stream to follow us on Facebook as well, because we're trying to push we are trying to push our Facebook numbers up. So we're trying to get to 10,000 people on Facebook. We're on the way there, but we're not quite there yet. So if you want to push us to 10,000 people, we're a good number of people there, but we're not fully as we should be there. So if you want to click on that link to follow us on Facebook, because some of the streams it will soon be exclusively on Facebook. So there it is. So the usual protocol: lean back, kick back, take it easy, relax into it. Click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, and if share the hyperlink as well. Pardon me, I can't get my words out. I think I'm down with the flu or something. The thing I do for you guys. So click on like, click on subscribe, and click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard. So as we set about that, let me provide you with a little bit of a musical intermission. Your calabash to the ready. We join the guys.
Only water, only water, where they see ma. Water,
only water, where they see ma.
Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chifu Waiver ti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìle o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìle o. Petrosonama ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìle o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dìle o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run méjìkọ. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there it is right there. Iku Koneru Agbeshe the Kegites, may death have nothing to do with us. So there it is. There it is, and here it is. Nigerian government grants over 16 trillion naira waiver to Dangote, Honeywell, others, amidst ailing economy. President Mallam Buhari's administration has reportedly waived the sum of 16.7 trillion naira in revenue to tax relief and concessions given to large companies between 2019 and 2021. The beneficiaries of the tax reliefs and concessions include Dangote, Lafarge, Honeywell, and 43 other major beneficiaries. At least 46 companies have benefited from various tax incentives and duty waiver schemes as of the end of 2021, while the request of 186 companies were still pending, correspondence report. This is according to the Tax Expenditure Statement report in the Medium-Term Expenditure and Fiscal Strategy documents posted on the website of the Budget Office of the Federation. The TES deals with revenue forgone on company income tax, value-added tax, petroleum production tax, and customs duty. In the TES report, the federal government had forgone revenue of 4.2 trillion in 2019 with two main sources, CIT and VAT. So as VAT, I'm not quite sure what CIT means company income tax. That should be. So from two main sources. So from company income tax and value added tax in 2019 alone, 4.2 trillion forgone. The estimated amount of revenue forgone for CIT was 1.1 trillion, whilst 3.1 trillion was for VAT. The most significant conclusion is the large size of the Nigeria's revenue forgone from just two of the main taxes, i.e. CIT and VAT. Nigeria's non-oil revenue potential is at least twice its current collections. And this is what I hope Kulaka is listening to this, because this is what he has always advocated, that Nigeria is undertaxed. And even where they have established a tax hold on entities and persons, they are foregoing those taxes. So that's just the thing. So that's just the thing. It's quite an eye-opener. The preliminary estimate of revenue forgone from CIT incentives and concessions in 2019 is 1.1 trillion. For contrast, 2019 CIT collection was 1.6 trillion. So, let's just pause there for a moment. So half the revenue that they could have collected from company income tax in 2019, literally half of it was forgone. So let me read you that paragraph again. This is quite a thing, and this is a country that is overextended in borrowing, let going of tax as a means of revenue. The preliminary estimate of revenue forgone from CIT, which is company income tax, incentives, and concessions in 2019 is 1.1 trillion naira. So in incentives and concessions, 1.1 trillion naira was forgone. But for contrast, 2019 CIT collections was 1.6 trillion. Can you hear that? So they collected 1.6 trillion. That was the totality of what could have been collected was 2.7 trillion. They collected 1.6 and told companies that were trading in Nigeria, making profits and growing wealth to forgo the rest. The preliminary estimate of revenue forgone from VAT, which is value added tax, as you know, the preliminary estimate of revenue forgone from VAT policies, policy choices, and compliance gaps is estimated to be 3.1 trillion and could possibly be more. It is worth reiterating that revenue forgone from customs, excise, petroleum production tax, personal income tax, and concessions under the oil and gas zone legislation is still to be computed, the TES reported. According to the TES report, the figure for revenue forgone would likely exceed 4.2 trillion if there were significant data, especially from customs duty, excise, PPT, personal income tax, and concessions under the oil and gas zone legislations. The report also said by 2020, the figure rose to 5.8 trillion, with the majority of it coming from revenue forgone under VAT. A breakdown shows that 4.3 trillion was forgone under VAT, 457 billion naira under CIT, 307 billion naira under PPT, and 780 billion naira under customs duty. It was discovered that 5 countries accounted for about 86% of the total customs relief, with China accounting for nearly 2/3 of total relief granted. Netherlands, Togo, Benin, and India were the 2 other top sources of supplies benefiting from the relief. So, whoever tells you that slave trade is over, that person is telling you a lie, because we are now enslaved to the Chinese in just in every way possible. So they come and take our oil for patents. The tax that they should pay on it, they don't pay. They borrow us money to build a railway that they build and bring their own citizens into Nigeria to come and do, to pay tax on that. They don't pay. But then, forget it, man. It was discovered that 5 countries accounted for about 86% of the total customs relief, with China accounting for nearly 2/3 of total relief granted. Netherlands, Togo, Benin, and India were the other top sources of supplies benefiting from the reliefs. In 2021, the total figure continued to rise, hitting 6.79 trillion, with revenue forgone on VAT accounting for most of it. A breakdown shows that 3.87 trillion was forgone under VAT, 548.4 billion under CIT, 337.7 billion under PPT, and 1.84 trillion under customs duty, and 111.15 billion naira under import VAT. The Nigerian government had to forgo a total of 16.79 trillion in tax reliefs for the 3-year period. Custom duty waivers and concessions, according to an analysis by correspondents. Under this figure, tax exemptions covered imported goods covered by diplomatic privileges, military hardware, fuel and lubricants, hospital and surgical equipment, aircraft and their parts and ancillary equipment, plant and machinery imported for use by companies in export processing zones, health and medical supplies to abate the spread of C-19. Other exemptions were said to be included. Reliefs on the Presidential Initiative on C-19 supplies, import duty and VAT on commercial airlines. It was also noted that 5 countries accounted for about 92% of the total customs relief, with China accounting for nearly half of the total relief granted. Singapore, Netherlands, Togo, Benin Republic, and India were the other top sources of supplies benefiting from the relief. They were beneficiaries of the Pioneer Status Tax Relief under the Industrial Development Income Tax Act, with tax reliefs for a 3-year period. This was contained in the Q4 2021 PSI report released by the Nigerian Investment Promotion Company. The Pioneer Status is an incentive offered by the federal government which exempts companies from paying income tax for a certain period. This tax exemption can be full or partial. The incentive is generally regarded as an industrial measure aimed at stimulating investment in the economy. The products or companies eligible for this pioneer status were said to be those that do not already exist in the country. These companies are, all right. Let me read you that paragraph again, only to land on the succeeding paragraph. The products and companies eligible for this pioneer status were said to be those that do not already exist in the country. These companies are Dangote Sinotrucks West Africa Limited, Lafarge Africa PLC, Honeywell Flour Mills Nigeria Limited, Jigawa Rice Limited, Stallion Motors Limited. Others are African Foundry Limited, Royal Pacific Group Limited, Kunut Hotel Limited, Princess Medi Clinics Nigeria Limited, Medlock Logistics Limited, and Masters Liquefied Gas Limited. Whereas Nigeria's budgetary situation is dire, as seen by low tax receipts, according to the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the country generated 6.4 trillion in taxes in 2021. This amounts to approximately $15.433 billion. So there it is right there. So if they tell you that they generated 6.4 trillion in taxes, which is approximately 16 billion 16.5 approximately billion dollars, and they granted in tax relief are 16 point something billion dollars. So that is to tell you that those tax reliefs, they're about what's that? That's about 45 that's nearly $50 billion that the country has hemorrhaged just from this policy to Dangote and his friends. So there it is. There it is. Ruling APC presidential candidate Tinubu appoints Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello as campaign council youth coordinator. Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State has been named the Tinubu Shettima Presidential Campaign Council's National Youth Coordinator. The appointment was announced in a letter addressed to Governor Bello and signed by the All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu. Tinubu emphasized in the letter dated August 8, 2022, that Bello, who was candidate in the party's presidential primary, earned the appointment because of his political achievements and exemplary leadership as governor of his state and party member. He went on to say that he was convinced that the governor would do his utmost in his new role to guarantee that the party ran a successful and message-driven campaign that will lead to victory in the 2023 presidential election. The letter is titled Appointment as National Youth Coordinator for Tinubu Shettima Presidential Campaign Council. It reads, by way of this letter, we are pleased to formally convey your appointment as National Youth Coordinator of the Tinubu Atiku Presidential Campaign Council. This appointment is fitting and appropriate given your impressive political achievements and the exemplary leadership you have demonstrated as governor of your state and as a party member. We are grateful that you have joined our campaign team. We know you will do your utmost in this new responsibility, so we conduct an effective, message-driven campaign to victory in the 2023 presidential election. So that's Yahaya Bello appointed, but what's been the reactions to it? Kiyamo reacts as Tinubu appoints Yahaya Bello as National Youth Coordinator. Spokesman of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Festus Kiyamo, has hailed the appointment of Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State as the National Youth Coordinator of the Tinubu Shettima Presidential Campaign. Our correspondents had reported that Tinubu, in a letter he personally signed on Sunday, said Bello was appointed because of his impressive political achievements and the exemplary leadership he has demonstrated as governor and a party member. The APC presidential candidate said he was sure Governor Bello would do his best in the position to ensure APC's victory in the 2023 presidential election. Speaking with correspondents on Sunday, Kiyamo congratulated the Kogi governor on his appointment to the Tinubu Shettima presidential campaign. The Minister of State for Labor and Employment said Bello's appointment was politically calculative because the governor has a large following amongst the youth in the party. Kiyamo stated that the appointment has further united the ruling party ahead of the 2023 presidential election. He said, Bello commands a large following amongst the youth in the party. Most importantly, it further unites our house as he was one of the formidable aspirants that ran against Asiwaju during our primaries. This further shows that Asiwaju is an excellent headhunter. Also speaking, the spokesman of Yahaya Bello Presidential Campaign Organization, Yemi Kolako, hailed her principal's appointment, describing it as an honor well-deserved. Kolako said the appointment is also a vote of confidence in Bello's proven capacity as the governor of Kogi State for 7 years. She said, this appointment is also a vote of confidence in Governor Yahaya Bello's proven capacity in his present assignment. Pardon me. She said, this appointment is also a vote of confidence in Governor Yahaya Bello's proven capacity in his present assignment as Kogi State Governor. It goes to strengthen the belief in informed quarters that Tinubu has a unique eye for star performers, regardless of religion, tribe, or gender. He is known for putting round pegs in round holes. This is what he has demonstrated with the appointment of Bello as National Youth Coordinator of the Tinubu Shettima presidential campaign. Nigerians should be rest assured that Tinubu will hit the ground running immediately he is sworn in as the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with tested professionals well positioned to revitalize key sectors. So that's the response, somewhat positive there, but then of course, those are party functionaries, so you would say that. So setting aside, what do you make of the appointment of Yahaya Bello into that role? Do you think it's round peg in round hole, as they're saying, or do you think this is just another yam head that is going to muck things up, as they always do? So let's go on to this next one. Nigerian woman, I don't want to use the word, I'll spell it instead, just because I don't want it to trigger you too. Nigerian woman KILLED in crash during high-speed chase with husband who was allegedly with mistress. A middle-aged woman has reportedly died in an auto crash whilst chasing her husband, who was allegedly with another woman suspected to be his mistress in his car. The incident occurred on Sunday in Calabar, the Cross River State capital. The Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) has confirmed. The sector commander, Maikano Hassan, who confirmed to journalists the high speed that led to the tragedy, said the middle-aged woman was involved in a lone incident in Calabar. Hassan said the accident was caused by excessive speeding involving a Toyota Highlander along Murtala Mohammed Highway in Calabar. He said the incident claimed the life of the lone female passenger, the female driver, who veered off the road and crashed into a ditch. Though the woman was immediately rushed to a nearby hospital, she was said to have died a few minutes later due to the injury sustained from the incident. However, sources who spoke with correspondents claimed the woman was in pursuit of her husband, who was alleged to be with his mistress in his car when she lost control of her vehicle. Trouble was said to have started when the woman reportedly sighted her husband, with the woman leaving SPAR shopping mall on Sunday evening. Her efforts to block her husband's car with her Toyota SUV failed as he maneuvered his way out and dashed out of the complex. Her husband was said to have maneuvered his vehicle out of the attempted blockade and then taken the Murtala Mohammed Highway with his wife in pursuit, said one of the sources who spoke on condition of anonymity. Unfortunately, in a bid to overrun her husband, not to overrun, but to outrun. Unfortunately, in a bid, it should say outrun, unfortunately, in a bid to outrun her husband, she lost control of the speeding vehicle, veered off the road, and slammed the vehicle headlong into a tree, damaging the vehicle beyond repair and also killing herself. And there it is right there. And there it is right there. And what they didn't say the man stopped at the incident is what I was waiting to see. So there it is right there. The man admitted, you see. So there it. I'm not sure what to make of that, but certainly what to make of it is already implicit in the story. So from that to this, zoning designed to prevent Southeast, North Central from producing president. Nwanyanwu Onkegbe Biologbo. Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, the chairman of Ohanese Council of Elders, says limiting the zoning of the country's presidency to the north and south is not in the interest of all Nigerians. Mr. Iwanyanwu stated this at a meeting organized to inaugurate the council's Finance and Development Committee on Sunday. He said if the zoning principle must be observed, it should be across the country's 6 geopolitical zones, giving every Nigerian opportunity to aspire for presidency. The 57-man committee of eminent Igbo businessmen Inaugurated by George Obiozor, the Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide president, was to prefer ways of financing and developing economic activities in the Southeast. According to Mr. Nwayamu, the Southeast and North Central are not favored to win the presidency because of the current North-South zoning arrangement. So I can understand the North Central, but I don't see what actually prevents the Southeast. But I don't see what actually prevents the Southeast from being advantaged by the zoning arrangement, because the Southeast is probably the biggest, at least one of the top two biggest tribes in the South. So they are very much advantaged. They are certainly more advantaged than the Ijos and anybody else in between. The only other space that has an equal number to them and is almost equal on a level field in terms of population mass, in terms of people of those ethnic groups. The only space that rivals them somewhat is the Southwest. So I'm not quite sure how the Southeast. I would have thought the Southeast is advantaged by the rotational presidency system. According to Mr. Nwayamu, the Southeast and North Central are not favored to win the presidency because of the current North-South zoning arrangement. If you want to zone, we have 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Zone it along the geopolitical zones. If you know you want to zone, you say you are zoning it to the north and south. If you zone the presidency to the north, there is no way somebody from North Central will get it unless there is mutual cooperation from the Northwest, which is very big, Mr. Nwayamu urged. He added, and if you zone it to the south, even if a zone in the south has been president several times, by this zoning arrangement, it does not stop them from contesting, which is not exactly what zoning is all about. Mr. Obiozo said the meeting was also to give effect to matters of immense importance and relevance to Nigerians of Igbo extraction, and urged Southeasterners to stop lamenting but take advantage of resources in their region. We have all it takes to deliver soccer development and a better and sustainable society for millions of our people and indeed Nigeria. In this wise, our focus will be on economic activities that will engage our youth through employment opportunities and acquisition of skills, the Igbo leader explained. Mr. Obiozo added, this should be in line with our known entrepreneurship. This should be in line with our known entrepreneurship models, harnessing the potential in the agriculture value chain through processing small and medium enterprises, which are the cornerstone of Aslan economics. So I don't quite know what it means by Aslan economics, but let's land on this and let's see if anybody is available to take it on. Notorious bandit leader Bello Turji escapes bombing. Notorious Zamfara bandit king. Notorious Zamfara. Let's try that again. Let me have a sip of water. Notorious Zamfara bandit kingpin Bello Turji reportedly escaped the aerial bombing carried out by the Nigerian Air Force. Let's try that one more time. Notorious Zamfara bandit kingpin Bello Turji reportedly escaped the aerial bombings carried out by the Nigerian Air Force fighter jet on his hideout located in Fakia in Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara State. Recall that many attendees were trapped in the attack that was carried out following intelligence about the gatherings of bandits at the location. A source at the ceremony had disclosed that the event was the naming ceremony for a baby born to Toji's family. It was gathered that the bandits were killed. That should say. It was gathered that the bandits were killed during a surprise raid by the air troops of Operation Forest Sanity. However, Toji and most of his close associates reportedly escaped the attack having left the spot to observe the afternoon prayer just before the strikes. He, Toji, directed that they should observe the prayers. Those who did not leave for the prayers were hit by the bombs. A source in Shinkafi told correspondents. The escape on Saturday was the second time the bandit leader had escaped such an assault. In December 2021, an NAF bomb targeted at his camp hit some of his fighters, wounding many and taking down one. The bomb was said to have been dropped moments after Taji had left his house. A source from the nearby village of Dangote, who was amongst those who escaped the Saturday airstrike, told correspondents that many people were taken down but did not give figures. He said those taken down were buried after the commotion from the attack died down. Some young men were taken down. There were also women and children who were gathered for the ceremony, he said. Bello Toji, one of the most feared and dreaded bandit warlords, has a large gang of gunmen who, for years, have been terrorizing residents of Shinkafi and Zomi local government areas of Zamfara and Isa and Sabombani local government areas of Sokoto State. It was gathered that the attack on Toji was carried out following intelligence information provided by Toji's rivals from the nearby Mania gang. Recall that Toji led his men to attack the enclave of the bandits in the Mania in June this year, killing one of their leaders known as Dulu. The attack by Toji followed a series of warnings to the gang in Mania to desist from waylaying travelers and attacking villagers after he had struck a peace deal with the locals. The strong suspicion is that Mania boys snitched on him when they heard the gathering. You know, the two sides have been at each other's throats. Even about 3 weeks ago, he sent them a warning about things happening around the area. A source in Shinkafi, who declined to be named, said, correspondents understand that there is panic amongst residents of a possible reprisal attack from Toji and his men over the bombings by the NAF. But dismissing fears of reprisal attacks, Director of Defense Information Major General Jimmy Opa said the military will continue to maintain the heat on the bandit groups. Operations are going to be sustained both by air and ground troops. Our government institutions have a constitutional responsibility to keep the environment safe, and that we must do, he told correspondents on Sunday. So there it is right there. A cat with 9 lives, the bandit man. So here is Ovie playing silly as always. So Ovie, what's all this business? What's all this behavior? Ajanle Koko, I see you, and Mr. Ed, I see you. So good to have you, gentlemen. So let's go straight to it then. Okay, what's going on there? What are you doing?
Doing the normal morning routines. It's 9 o'clock here, so I'm working out. Do some light workout. Got to keep the body tight.
Yeah, keep the body tight. Maybe less of the food for the ladies. All right.
Yeah, you know that. You have not retired yet, so you were once there. You are still not retired, so
don't worry. Don't worry. I'm keeping the body fat. Don't worry. So
well, you see, Nigerian contest now. Who will be that? It takes money to keep the body fat.
You see, over here, they keep the body in good shape. So because they chop too much pawpaw these days.
Yeah.
We see as pawpaw they walk out behind you the other day when they talk now. They chop too much pawpaw.
I'm go do now. They don't burn us already. Now die remain. So
man doesn't leave my bread alone.
Oh, yeah, right.
Don't leave my bread alone. So good to have you, gentlemen. So to it and straight to it. So over here, to it then, and this cat with 9 lives called Bello Toji. These are bandits that refuses to be taken down. So what are you then making of yet another myth on this guy by the Nigerian authorities?
It's funny the way you said it. He refuses to be taken down. Of course, you have to catch him unaware. I mean, at this point, the leaders of those bandits should be well sophisticated in terms of how they get their own info and the amenities or the ability to escape when they deem fit. I think that is what is happening. They've been in the rain for too long, so they've made a lot of money via kidnapping and foreign sponsorship and what have you. So I'm not surprised. It's going to take a more calculated effort to get him. It's not going to be easy. Just as you said, I mean, if they can be bold to be coming out in mass to celebrate them just baby dedication or birthday, however they put it, that's to tell you that their own intelligence department is solid and they have the equipment to defend themselves when they need to do it. That's what is happening.
It looks as though the guy actually got away just by virtue of luck. He had just insisted that they should go and maybe it's not luck, maybe it is luck, but he had just insisted that they must go and do their prayers just moments before the bombs started to fall. So I don't know how he was able to preempt that, but this is the second time that he has escaped just by a whisker.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about intelligence. It's information. He knows. As I said, it's been on the operation. It's been at the aim of affair for a minute. So the longer you stay there, the more leverage you get in terms of the kind of information you get coming from the Nigerian military itself. Then outside intelligence are also involved. He has the money to do it. So it's not going to be easy. But I don't think it's impossible. It will meet its Waterloo in due time. But yes, I think that's good.
Of direction by the Nigerian. Are they going after these people now? And if they are going after them now, why were they not going after them before?
One man. This thing. I mean, the more I do my own research on this, I understand that they are more than meet the eye coming from their own ends. Yeah, the Nigerian state, as we speak, is surrounded by foreign vultures, as I used to put it. So I'm not surprised that it's taking them this long. It's a fight that is coming from all fronts. The Buhari administration has not been lucky. There are elements are bound to make sure he doesn't achieve his goal or govern well. I mean, pretty much as we speak today, the man came into power with the aim of fighting Boko Haram solely. That's pretty much where the attack was coming from. And I think they achieved a remarkable development on that front. But as that is dying down, pretty much every news and corner of the country today have one form of security challenge or the other. So the military is yes, they are overwhelmed by this, but I think most importantly, I believe 100% that there are foreign interest in this attack on Nigerian states. But whatever their aim is, only time will tell. And I just pray that the incoming president, whoever that person may be, he will have a bit of more leverage in terms of figuring out who are those foreign interests involved in power.
It's not tied to them in the way Buhari is. Is that what you're saying? I'm saying, are you saying that the next president should have a bit more leverage because he's not tied to them the way Buhari is?
Well, no, in terms of more grips on who are these foreign interests, who are these foreign interests who are head-bent on making sure Nigeria falls. I just hope the incoming president will have more intelligence at his disposal at this point. Because as I said, the Buhari-led administration came in with solely aim of fighting Boko Haram. And I think we will have to give them credit on that. But unfortunately, there are more insurgencies springing up from every nook and corner in the world, the south, the west, the east, and so yes, I will not say Buhari has a tie. I will not say that, but If that is what is out there, who am I to dispute it? But I just believe whoever that is coming has more leverage in terms of more intelligence information on how to do about it.
All right, brilliant. Let me take you to another talking point. So this is Nwanyawo speaking, and he's saying then that the zoning arrangement, zoning designed to prevent the Southeast and North Central from producing Nigeria's president. So this is Emmanuel Nwanyawo speaking, saying this at an Igbo conference. So I can understand an argument for the North Central, but I cannot understand an argument for the Southeast. The Southeast is arguably the biggest tribe in the South. So how are they disadvantaged by something that advantages the South?
Well, I think first of all, I would say I agree with Nwayam with his submission that to me, zoning North and South it's not going to get us anywhere. But on the other hand, I think it proved the PDP right by throwing it open. When you throw it open, anybody stand a chance. Yes, it's a politics of the highest bidder. That is why we are still seeing it the way, people like Atiku and the rest have upper hand. But throwing it open actually why we just actually justify that. Making it North and South, there are pros and cons. Right now, the only people who are playing that game well is the Northern folks. Because I keep saying it, and I'll keep saying that.
No, sorry.
Politically,
let's stay on the topic. Let's not do that. I'm
still on the topic.
Yeah.
Because the kind of democracy or political system that we are playing, it will take a balanced competition for we to achieve any meaningful development. Balance in the sense that I'm always prescribing it that the South have to find one way or the other to come together politically as one. So yes, we know that we are having two sides of the aisle to contest with. When the other side of the aisle know that this other side is coming with a good competition, then we have a little bit of emphasis and focus on the development of the other Nigeria or the country itself. Because as it is now,
to a different topic though.
One man, we are talking about what Imayam said now, that the North and South divide is not helping the South, is also helping the North Central.
Yes, so
right.
So just yes, we know that we need an open field to get the best man, but under this arrangement that we do have, how is if the whole country agrees that power must come to the South? So let's go with that as a working theory. If the whole country agrees that power must come to the South, how is the Southeast disadvantaged by that?
No, I am not saying the South is at this. I'm not agreeing with him based on that. The one sector of the six geopolitical spectrum is marginalized or no. That is not. I don't subscribe to that. They have a chance. I mean, if there's anything to go by, this last primaries, PDP in particular, making it open is actually an open camp for the Southeast to actually emerge to finish the primaries. But at the end of the day, even themselves could not even rally around themselves to produce one formidable candidate within that party. So I don't believe that one particular region, as it is now, that is particularly targeted not to produce the president in that regard. But overall, yes. But in order for what Iwayamu is saying to actually prevail, is to just make this zoning of a team North and South dichotomy has to be totally out of our country, out of a gentleman agreement, the way they like to put it. And that's why I said Iwayamu just proved PDP right. PDP throw it open. Anybody stand a chance to get it. Even me that is coming from the minorities among minority. If I have the money, if I have the power, I stand a chance and I put the PDP. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, the point I'm driving here.
I do understand, but I'm not sure if that was consistent with it. But let me take you to a different space. Let me take you to so this is a human.
One man again. The South is being marginalized, particularly in this past primaries. For the fact that the whole South come together and agreed that the presidency has to come to the South, and a few of those people who believe that yes, the president must come to the South actually agree that it should be zoned to the Southeast, but they could not make it happen. As far as I'm concerned, politically, they are not doing what they are supposed to do. It's that time they say, okay, yeah, this is who we want, and this is how we're going to go about it. But even in the mix of them, they scheme against themselves. If they could not even get one person to even start.
That's the thing,
Sorry?
okay? I said that is the thing. So if they are saying it should come to the south, then it's an open playing field. The Yorubas are no more advantaged than they are. So it's an open playing field then for the south to produce somebody. So if the Yorubas are able to convince the space to give it to them, then that means the southeast, they have to work on their game rather than claiming to be marginalized, because they are in equal population, in equal wealth, in equal intellect to the southwest. So there is nobody advantage. So you just have to, get your game right. So
yes, if they have put their house in order, back what they have been backing it all around with, they would have stand a chance in taking the ticket in PDP. Let's even forget about the APC now. Knowing that the role that the Tinubu-led coalition played, it would have been very difficult for any of those regions to finish it in APC. But in PDP, knowing the fact, even PDP, largely their strength is in the southeast. That is very, very debatable. That yes, they are in loyalty of the southeast to PDP deserve anything to be noticed, but they could not put their hands together. I fought Orange Indigo for that. They were busy chasing the Buhari administration, calling all sorts of names, derogating it and all that, instead of them to actually, put their hands together and say, yeah, it's not just that it's just our turn. We have what it takes to clean the PDP ticket. Because it was a chance, even despite the fact that they throw it open, they have the number, they have what it takes to do. But I'm just surprised that they could not come together and bring a formidable. Because I'm of the belief that the South actually were neutral in terms of who produced the presidential candidate in PDP. When I mean they're neutral, if the Igbo were actually able to put their act together and put in a formidable front, the South Side have no choice but to support them. For God's sake, the only person that we have making noise for the South Side is Wike. So they could not even rally around their own self. Obi was there till the dying minute, till the 11th hour before he decamped. What's stopping them from saying, you know what, for the fact that Obi has a good run in terms of being a vice presidential candidate to Atiku for 1999, was exposed in 2019, which give him a lot of exposure and leverage above every other Igbo man within that region, in the PDP house. For them to fail to rally around him, it baffles me. I mean, even to even allow him to control the structure of his state in terms of PDP, they could not give him that support. So it's gonna the days that will pay attention to them when they are crying foul. For as far as I'm concerned, this past primary was actually very, very easy for them to actually commit a formidable front and clean the ticket. They have the money to give the Atiku run for his money. There's money in the South to do that. As you say, intellectually, that's not their lacking. But politically, then it's another thing entirely. So it's just unfortunate that they couldn't pull it off under PDP, and now they are scattered. If they decided to give all their vote to the Labour Party, then what happened? What happened in the next 4 years? How are they going to come together under one umbrella? They are not willing to take it after to the national level. So instead of crying of victimization, blah blah blah, you gotta put your hands together and go for it. It's as simple as that. It's all for the grab.
You see, I'm not going to accept that. If the power is zoned to the south, if the country agrees that the power, I'm not saying for this election, but I'm saying under a situation that the country has agreed to zone the power to the south, then I cannot accept that any southern space, and I know I can accept that some southern states can argue, like the Ijot, the Bibios, all this, that they don't have the numbers, but I cannot accept that an Igbo man or a Yoruba man will claim that they are disadvantaged, because it's a 50-50 fight then. It's a 50-50 fight.
It is. As I said, they were even more favored when it comes to under PDP. If they actually mean their grandstanding that the power must come to the south. For me, they spent the last 7 years fighting the current administration. Instead of them to just calm down and walk underground and rally the rest of the nation. No, I mean, you cannot get everybody on your side, but I am pretty sure it would have been easy to get let's say not every southern state, but at least majority of the southern state to be on their side if they did not waste that energy focusing on taking this administration down. Started by calling the president name. I mean, they wasted so much time. Because, yes.
Tinubu had a longer journey to the APC ticket than a Southeasterner would have had to the PDP ticket. He had a longer journey, a Herculean fight to that ticket than a Southeast. We look at how many. Anyway, round of that.
For them to be on the one of the major party tickets 4 years ago, and they lost out in that party. I mean, it has a lot to say with their political intelligence.
So that's not marginalization. That's just not playing.
That's what I'm saying. They spend so much time crying and whining and fighting rather than just say, okay, this is a game. I keep saying it. I mean, Tinubu has been on the background quiet and working diligently to get to where he is today. It didn't just happen to me. For the fact that I had to come out and say, well, it is my turn. That is because he worked for it. He didn't just come out of the blue and say, well, it is my turn. He's telling the APC that, yes, for what I have done within the last 4 years to 8 years, it's actually my turn. So I understand the argument that what's stopping people like Obi to actually rally around the rest of the people to say, come on, it is actually our turn. It is my turn. For the fact that I'm a vice presidential candidate on that major political platform, it is a step in for me to actually, clean the board. As I said, they spend so much time fighting and whining and crying. Then at the 9 minutes, we are now saying that it is my turn. No, it doesn't work like that. What do you, I mean, it is your turn when it comes to PDP, but you are not able to convince the PDP caucus to keep it to your zone. But instead, what did happen? They were able to make sure they throw it open. Doing that, throwing it open now, for the fact that your house is not in together, very easy for them to just push you aside, and that's exactly what happened. As I said, Obi was there. He was the corridors of the PDP at the aim of the affair till the last minute, in the last hour. In fact, rumor has it that he's actually bought the ticket. He paid for their own presidential ticket before eventually abandoning it. That is because he could not even get his own people. These own people now that we are crying that, yes, we are Obi. They could not actually give him the state structure, just the state now. Forget about the size of PDP. Just the state PDP, they could not even rally around Obi and give him the structure to control. So politically, they still have a long way to go. Thanks to how this game is played, they have a long way to go.
All right, Obi, let me take you to another space. Yahaya Bello has been appointed as the youth coordinator of the Tinubu Shettima campaign. Much to the delight of Festus Keyamo, by the way, who thinks it's an excellent choice. But then Festus Keyamo would say that, is this an inspired choice by your reckoning? Or is that
No, I'm not. No, I'm not inspired. I mean, I understand what they were brought about that. I mean, I'm a fan of him. If I must say, you remember at the beginning of this whole brouhaha, I used to say that he started a chance to cleanse the ticket. Well, because age is on his side and it's visible. Well, I mean, it's visible. It's always on the news. It's always there, good or bad. That's visibility when it comes to the type of politics that we play. But I disagree with that because I expected to go for a woman at this point, a young female. They can't tell me APC cannot produce a young female that young people can actually rally around. And, of course, if Yahaya Bello pull out a very formidable campaign for his own ambition, which you have to give him that credit. He didn't get him anywhere. But I expect them to Tinubu to go for, I mean, pretty much all the hierarchy in the APC as we speak are all men. I don't care about their age, they are all men. So I expect female, or he should have gone for Pantami. I know it's not a name that we like. It's not a name that we like, but trust me, at this point, Tinubu campaign is struggling. It's struggling to find a footing in the north.
Hold on. Tinubu's campaign should have gone for Pantami.
Yes.
All right.
Why I said that, one man? Why I said that? As we speak, that party, the Tinubu campaign, is struggling to have a solid footing in the north, in particular the northwest. Dangote dollar was his right hand man, but that kind of paperweight is a leaf, it's not a branch. Some people will say it's a paperweight, but where is it today? So if Tinubu cannot have his way within the north, especially the northwest, I'm sorry, one man, that guy go finish third or fourth because he's struggling. It's obvious. Is that nobody wants to work with him or whatever? I see no reason why he's not able to get prominent people in that region to be in this campaign. So Pantami is not among the teeming young people.
So forget all of that nonsense.
One man.
All right, round it off. So
somebody will see my reason. Before you, somebody else will see my reason. I say yes. What I'm saying, I mean, that guy he has a bunch of followers in terms of young people because that's what you represent. Young people. If you cannot penetrate the north, if you cannot lay claim to Buhari's voter, then you are starting to lose the election.
All right.
The guy is struggling in the north, how to actually get the real men behind him in his campaign. He's struggling. So that guy would have been the real deal because he was lost. Forget the name, say yes. Whenever that we heard the name, we run a lot of things in our head. He's a terrorist, he's terrorist sympathizer, blah blah. But guess what? He has a lot of support among the young people within that region. And that's what, or if I go for a lady. So I mean, you're still in the northern space. If you don't want to come all the way out to the south and go for Ben Ayade, which to me is also Ben Ayade can penetrate the Nigerian youths. But yes, the Cross River guy, the short.
What's the
I don't like the guy.
The difference
I
between
don't.
Ayade and Yabelo?
Okay, so go for a female, a young female, or go all out. Go for Pantami. Pantami will give you. People will follow him. You have to break into the north. I don't care how he's going to do it. You have to be able to command significant votes within the northern space. Now that the south is actually above, is out of his reach. Southeast. I mean, the south is out of the Tinubu's reach. Thanks to Obi, the south is actually shaking. The vote is going to be shared, if not equally, within the PDP with Obi and maybe the Tinubu himself. Or so going all out to get a northern person to represent that the teaming youth. I mean, take the risk, go for a female that can actually appeal to the general people in the country, or go for the man himself. But I mean, it's popular.
Can I interject 1 minute?
Yes, interject, but thank you, VA. And then after Adanle Koko's interjection, I'm going on to Man of Prestige just for time. But Adanle Koko, let's hear from you.
VA, let me tell you this. Tinubu have made a very right choice for that position.
Imagine he's saying he should pick Pantami. What are we even doing? Sometimes you say the funniest things.
You know, if you look between them, Pantami they are mentioning and Yara who have that political value within the two of them, within the party, and even outside the party, is Yaya Bello. And they rightly mentioned as to why they picked Yaya Bello. They said he commands the largest youth. He commands more youth within the party than any other presidential candidate. So those youth that are connected with him, they need them in the campaign. So those youths that are connected with Yaya Bello, they need them in the campaign. Now having Yaya Bello as the head of the youth, those youth will be energized now, and they will have sense of belonging in the campaign. They'll be ready to go all out, and Yaya Bello have the money. But Pantami doesn't have the money to spend. Yaya Bello have crazy billions of naira in his pocket.
Money is not the Tinubu campaign problem now. They have the money to
forget. Don't say one. No, don't. Who told you? One person cannot do the job.
That's the list of their worries.
Oh, don't told you.
List of their worries.
Oh no, you don't know. Everybody, one person does not have all the money to run the campaign. You need other people that have the cash to spend that will not wait for you, even though you have money to deploy. But in some cases, they will need urgent money, and that's some of these leaders that are committed will be ready to spend their own money while waiting for change. One person cannot carry the burden alone. It's a joint effort, and they need all money from everywhere. They know that people that have the money that can deploy into the campaign. So when you look at the political value, Yaya Bello, he have no political value to bring into the thing. So I think Tinubu have made the right. He has made the right.
I'm not downplaying. I'm not downplaying Yaya Bello influence, but I'm just saying at this point, he need everything he can to penetrate the Northwest. Very important to his election.
Baba, to corroborate your point, Baba Jalen Koko, and then to Ovie, right? Currently, what's his name? The Pantami is the, I think, is the Director General of the Statistics, Survey, and whatever department in the Tinubu's campaign organization.
Okay.
So he's working directly under Fashola. Fashola is the coordinating, like the coordinating chairman in the organization now. So they all have their roles. Yaya Bello was part of the presidential running, presidential aspirant. So he wants to insulate as much as he can, within his within that campaign terrain. So what Tinubu is, even Pantami himself, there was a significant position they wanted to hand to him. He said no, because first of all, you have to understand, if I take it or leave it, he has a baggage. Imagine if Pantami is selected, right, in this position that they've given Yaya Bello now. Imagine the narrative now around the obedience. That will be another 1 week of speaking about another terrorist on the list. So they know what they are. So he already has a position that is taken in the campaign.
But I understand my point here. I'm just saying there's a need for Bola Tinubu to have a very strong vote in the Northwest, on the northern space. You need it. There's no way around it. If you want to win that presidency, there's no way around it. You have to commit. You have to command significant influence within the Northwest.
And you think he does? You think he doesn't?
All right. Well, I don't. In terms of people that have been given appointment and role to play, I haven't seen anybody prominent within that region that is.
But politics.
Gentlemen, round it off so I can round it up here.
All right. The politics is done. It's 80% of political activities are done behind the scene, more than what you see on the surface. Right.
I agree.
All right, brilliant. So thank you, gentlemen. That conversation quite engaging, but as always, the pressure of time. That's just the battle we have. But never too much time. Never pressure of time when it turns up. The mighty Mr. Gomez. So Alexander, good to see you.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
You have a wonderful platform. We're very proud of you. Keep it up. Your platform is something else. I can't do without it, actually, quite frankly. Politics started, hasn't it? It started in earnest. The campaign. Ajale Koko, Bawo ni Shala Pelwa. He's not there anymore. Yeah, Bawo. It's heating up. I still keep on saying it. I can't see. I know Ajale Koko don't have me saying this, but I say it anyway. I sent you a link a minute ago, one man, and I saw your response. You watch Tinubu play grassroots politics. Watch him go into the eastern part of Nigeria and prostrating for.
Yeah, I've got it lined up for an
Igbo woman.
Oju's mom.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay, this is Tinubu that they are telling us is about.
Yes. I wouldn't argue with Ovi about the northern space because I give it to him. He's an expert on that place. I've never been past Abuja. I don't know anything about politically about the north. So if he's speaking, I listen to him and learn from him. But the northern space belongs to Atiku anyway. If for any reason at all, Kwankwaso links up with links up with Atiku, it's gonna be fiery. It's gonna be fiery. Yes, and I can see that happening because his numbers are not looking good. So he's going to want to position himself strategically with a winning team to have a position in government come 2023. And the likelihood of him teaming up with Atiku is rather high at this point. Because a Fulani, a Northerner would always team up with a Northerner. I don't care how you look at it. So it's fascinating. It's fascinating. But my bet is still on Tinubu at the end of the day. He's doing the right thing. He's picking. He's rising to the occasion gradually and steadily. He's not. Very soon, OB will reach a plateau and it will start dipping. I can see that happening very soon. He'll start dipping very soon. When this thing starts in earnest, he'll start dipping, and that's where the big boys will start playing. Will start showing that they're masters of this political juggernaut. So that's the way I see that. This Yaya Bello, yes, he's very popular amongst the youth. So whoever hired him, what party does it belong to? Is it APC or PDP?
APC.
That's a strategic move. That's a wonderful move. He played a man. You can't take it away from Tinubu. Tinubu is just pressing the right buttons. And come 2023, I think we might just see him as president of Nigeria. And I think that if he can hire some of the best brains in Nigeria, I think we will see a better Nigeria come to 2024, 2025. I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is politics at its very best. It doesn't get better than this in Nigeria.
Alexander, the politics that Tinubu is playing for the presidential race is the same politics that he played for the presidential primaries. He's going to the power blocks to strike agreements with them to favor him. And this is what we saw during the primaries. When it came the moment, and they just sat majestically, and every they were all lining up to pledge fiefdom to him.
I think what I've noticed is
this noise making of Peter B.
What I've noticed is I think that the ruling.
Hold on. Let Alexander land that point, and then you come.
I think what I've noticed with the events unfolding recently, I think what I've discovered is that people don't say this. I've noticed that Tinubu is very detribalized. He's very comfortable with people. You know, if this man who is one of the richest men in Nigeria can actually prostrate or whatever word you use for that gesture to an Igbo woman who is probably not older than him by more than 5 years, he knows what he's doing. That's all politics. I think he's detribalized. I think that's what we need. And I see when people meet him, all these big boys in politics in Nigeria, they just warm up to him. He doesn't have that air of arrogance about him that Atiku has. And this is one of the reasons why I went up Atiku. Atiku has a sense of entitlement attitude about him. And I don't like people like that. I like people who are unassuming. I like people when they sit down and say, you know that is Babangida. I say, that's Babangida. You know, you don't want to sit down, you know you're a big man and you want everybody to pay you attention. I like that about Tinubu, and I think a lot of people are they're fond of him, and because of that, the ruling class are warming up to him, and that would push him to where he can win the presidency. I've noticed that about him. People like him naturally, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, you know. That's a good thing.
I think Mr. Ed wanted to come in. Mr. Ed, you wanted to add?
Yeah. Hey guys. Afternoon, morning, wherever you are. But I'm just wondering, Alexander Gomez, so you first prefix, and saying that Tinubu, you don't see nobody winning but Tinubu, but at the same time you said the North will vote for Atiku. I'm trying to understand it. So if Tinubu is going to win, where is he getting his votes from? So if he can't win the North,
that's not a very. I don't think that's a very good question. Because he won't win the North doesn't mean he's not going to get 25%. All he's looking for is 25%. All he's looking for is 25%. If he can get 25% in the key states and win the Southwest, win some states in the southeast, because I think Ebonyi will go to APC.
They will win some states in the southeast, you said?
I think he'll win Ebonyi state.
Okay, then I rest my case.
Yeah, I think he'll win the southeast. I think he'll win Ebonyi state.
Alexander, you're kidding, man.
No, forget about it.
I think so. Don't you look. Don't let's be tribal here. Listen. I'm too. Listen, can I finish, please? I'm too old and too sophisticated to play tribalism here. I've said it on this platform that there's a good chance that OB can win Lagos State. Ajale Koko doesn't like to say that. He can win Lagos State because you have a lot of Igbo people in Lagos State. I'm from Lagos State. I'm from Lagos Island. My brother's running for a position in Lagos Island. And I'm putting my head out and I'm saying he could probably win Lagos State. So if I can say that, why can't I say Tinubu can win this thing? If you have a problem with that, then you're being tribal.
Hey, hold on, Alexander. Alexander,
can I respond to that?
Let me interject, please, if you don't mind. Alexander, it's not a troublesome. I mean, I'm probably one of the least troublesome because I don't believe in that crap.
I say you're probably. I'm not saying you're trouble.
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that crap to begin with. The reason why I said you are kidding, when it comes to the southeast, I think I
was referring to the other chap actually.
Okay, I'm basing my assertion because of the way the southeast feel like they have been marginalized. It's not about Tinubu. Believe me, a lot of people some people like Tinubu in the southeast just because they have their own mind for the first time. It's going to be difficult. It's not about trouble, okay? No. You didn't listen to what I said. Okay.
You didn't listen to what I said.
Go ahead,
I
sir.
said as a Lagosian, as a thorough, I'm using the word, as a thoroughbred 6th generation Lagosian, I am telling you that OB might probably win Lagos State. Based on the numbers and projections and based on the number of Igbos who would come out to vote for him in Lagos.
Okay.
Conversely, I'm saying that Tinubu could probably win Ebonyi State. So if I say he could win Lagos State, why can't I say that Tinubu can win?
The reason, look,
Alexander, hold on, let me land. Alexander, I respect you. Okay, I never thought of you of being very sectional. That's not my point. I never thought of you as that kind of person. Okay, but my point is that actually I'm basing my.
Like I said, I wasn't referring to you. I was referring to God that said that that's my case.
Let me respond to that.
Eddie, go ahead.
To that place, that was me. And so I asked that question because I think that's a little bit contradictory. Because you were saying OB could win in Lagos because of Igbos in Lagos, but Tinubu could win in Ebonyi because it's tribalized.
I'm saying that because I'm saying that the governor of Ebonyi State could probably deliver the state to him.
How?
Well, you look at they have an incumbent governor who's an APC governor and who's very popular. Ajale Koko says all the time that the governors control the electorates in the state. So I'm going by the master of this analysis, Ajale Koko, by coming to the conclusion that he might probably win Ebonyi State. I stand to be corrected. We all doing projections here. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But I can tell you, and I can put, if you have some money, put it on one man's show. OB would not be president of Nigeria.
I don't do bets.
You can take that to the bank.
No, I don't. Everybody knows that.
What I was trying to ask was just the rationale, for that. So if you say, I think I understand your rationale.
Sorry, Mr. Ed, but the governor is an APC governor. The state is an APC state. A lot of the politicians that hold any significance in that state, they are APC. So I'm not quite sure that Alexander is overreaching to speculate that Ebonyi would go to APC. In fact, there's no reason why it should not, because the only thing that can deviate it from APC is tribe, unless the tribal code.
Yeah, the tribal element.
So it is okay then to assume then that every state that APC has a governor will be won by APC.
Well, they are advantaged. Would you not say they are advantaged?
No, but I think the way that's one way to permutate, of course, and to say, okay, well, hey, you have top politicians who can control the votes. But since I think people are not taking into account the new electoral laws, right? where rigging, it's been made very difficult.
No, we're not talking about rigging. We're talking about persuasion.
Yeah,
persuasion.
Come on, man. Okay, now, yeah. They only have one.
Can I continue? Can I continue
when you go
with
into
my...
that booth to vote, so you're not going to follow instruction from the governor or whatever. So if you like a governor, doesn't mean that you necessarily put your vote for president that you maybe have indifferent about.
Mr. Ed, let me ask you a question, please, if you don't mind. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind. Of course, the free.
Okay,
free
so
free
by
world.
your projection, would you say head to heart that Obi will win all the states, 5 states in the southeast of Nigeria?
I don't know. I think.
Okay, so why would you want to challenge my assertion?
No.
That is what your argument suggests.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. That's a contradiction in terms, isn't it? If you do not know, then why are you challenging my assertion that he might win Ebonyi State?
No, so my thinking is that I think there's a different politics that's going on now. It's a more politics of convincing. You have to campaign. Campaign hasn't started yet, so they have from the 28th of September, right, till February, campaign is going to occur, right? During that course of that campaign, a lot of things are going to happen. Whoever campaigns the best, that can able to convince the citizenry is probably going to have a better chance. I think trying to, let's say cozy up to big wigs, to having deliver states for you. I think that's maybe in the past, where you have, maybe governors, and having controls of levels of power.
But Mr. Ed, that's a big assumption. Obviously, you sound like you live overseas because obviously you sound like you live overseas because you have a twang to your accent. So I think you're bringing that Western ideology into the equation. Nigerian elections cannot be fair, free, and transparent. It would never be. It can never be. It will be much better than it was in the past, but there still be some shenanigans here and there, and you have to take that into cognizance moving forward. If you think that it's going to be hunky dory, it's not going to be like that. Is it going to be much better? Yeah, of course it's going to be like. It's going to be much better.
No, it's good.
Go ahead.
I think it makes more sense. So when we do these permutations, to always prefix what type of assumption you're using for that permutation, right? So if you say for example, if people want to say, for example, Obi could win, they have to then say what assumption they are basing that on. That's why I was interested in what assumption you're using. I think I understand what your assumption is that the governors, whether the governor is popular or not popular, I don't know. That the governor is going to help deliver the state.
Ajani Koko is the only politician, and I think he's the only person that's run for position in politics on this platform. And he'll tell you unequivocally that the governors play a very key role in election area. So all the key players in Ebonyi State are APC people. The governor is a very, very strong ally of the President Buhari. So you can't discountenance the fact that he can win Ebonyi State. Is it going to be tough? Yes, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's not going to be a landslide. I don't intend to say that, if that's how I'm coming across. But there's a very high possibility or probability that he could win Ebonyi State. But I stand to be corrected come January, February of next year.
No, exactly.
It's just a permutation that I'm putting forward. Yeah. No, but moving forward, though, let me round up because I don't want to hold people's space to speak. In the final analysis, in my opinion, everything it hasn't changed from the last 6 weeks to 7 weeks. It's actually looking clearer and more glaring that Tinubu looks like he's got this thing wrapped up. But anything can happen. As it stands today, that's my position.
Wrapped up.
Well, man, thank you for having me. Let me let you go.
That's quite bold.
So always a delight. So that's Alexander calling it as he says it, but you clearly say it differently. A man of prestige.
Oh, definitely. I see it differently. I mean, the word he used, wrapped up. I mean, he may said, I'm sorry. Let me begin.
Do you speak Latin? Fait accompli. Yeah?
One man, stop it. Okay, good. Let me proceed.
It's done and dusted.
One man, good morning, everybody, and good morning, everybody in the platform. Ajale Koko, Igmatic, Mr. Ed, whomever I didn't mention their name, I salute you all. But anyway, let's go, one man.
All right, let's go. And
One man, please, can you give me just 3 minutes? I'm going to the gym now, so I can give people a chance on the platform, so I can take other people.
I hope you've not come to flog us again. No,
No, one man. No, just listen to my word, please. Listen to my word. I'm not here to fight anybody, please.
Oh, yeah,
one man, go ahead with him.
Go on, Bartholomew. Let's hear
you. Yes, good morning, everybody. I wish everybody the best of the week. Today is Monday, so my aim on this very my little contribution is this. I think we should be discussing something. If we are saying that we want to help Nigerians, we are one Nigerians, we should be focusing on discussing what is going to help the masses. The masses, I mean, in totality, the poor and the rich. Because at the end of the day, every time that we come here, it is Obi, 50, 60%, Tinubu, 40%, Atiku, nothing. But all these people are the people that keep us in this very bondage that we are in now today. Okay, that one is gone. Another one, I was something I'm trying to point again is when Ovie come earlier talking about wike. Let me remind Ovie. I know you quickly easily forget that there was a time, not even too much long time ago, that Wike massacred his own people in Obibo. And Wike twisted that very name called Obi. Since I was born, I'm hearing Obibo. But Wike come last time, use political language and twisted it that is not Obibo. And his name is not Wike, is whatever. So Wike, you know that Wike killed his own people because of let the northern people trust him and give him the power. And today, what is going on? So, how many times will you be fooled all the time? I mean, sort of my language. People will be using you because of political power, political something that you know that how many years are you going to live in this world? How much are you going to enjoy in this world? I'm here in New York City. I work in Manhattan every day. I have seen people that have money and people that ride the car, people, houses and whatever. This world is nothing. You come with nothing and you are going back with nothing. And we are here every day talking about Pankwaso, talking about Atiku. Atiku is most of the person that put one of the guys that put Nigeria in bondage today, not even having a light.
Bartholomew, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Do you not consider that us coming here all the time are wailing and gnashing Tinubu, Atiku, Peter Obi? Is that not a service to the people?
No, it is not. No, because these people are the people that are holding us down for years. Let us try to bring new idea, for the thing that will help those ones that don't have internet here in Nigeria. Me and you today, one man, are enjoying Western world hard work. Do you know that these very people, you are in London today, I'm in America today, all of them had a civil war. They killed themselves before they were enjoying today. So I don't know, many of you that went to school, that went to Harvard and university cannot bring good suggestion. And we are here every day speaking the English that come from London, English that come from America. And we can never try to help our own people. If me and you cannot do it today, who will do it? If me and you cannot do it,
let's do praise and worship. Ovie, that's not a push-up. Ovie, you are not doing push-up.
Ovie, stop. I'm so sorry. Ovie, stop confusing people. This is not a push-up. You are just pushing your head up and down. Go learn how to do push-up. So now you just pretending. So one man, please let us help. Let us help our own people back home. If we truly love our people, we don't even know how our own oil is being pushed into Cotonou, that republic. Do you know that 50% of fuel that they use in Cotonou comes from Nigeria, and they never stay in first scarcity. I never see anybody talk about that. How many of us in this country have lived in 1 or 2, 3 neighboring countries in West Africa and see how things are going? I never see anybody discuss about that. Yorubas in Cotonou, in Togo, and in Ghana, and Nigerians in Cotonou, in Togo, how are they living? I never see anybody discuss about that, because me and you today have opportunity to run to London, to run to Cotonou. probably most of us come here through our fathers and our mothers. So we don't know how difficult it is for other people to travel. That's why we are here every day, coming here, trying to claim that we're speaking big English, which is not our language. You can never speak it more than Oyibo people. And at the end of the day, they will stay by the side and laughing at you. Thank you very much. I'll be going to the gym. I'll stay by the side and be listening. Thank you. I love you guys.
Thank you, Bartholomew. But
if you need gym instruction, reach out to me. I can claim I'm an expert. If anything, I will claim to be an expert. That one, I'm an expert when it comes to working out.
I'm gonna. I don't know how I'm gonna. Okay, when I get to the gym, I'll be at the gym in 30 minutes time. I'll come. If one man will allow me to come on the video again, then I can show you what is push up. Okay.
Okay.
Now push up. How to chop pawpaw. Now in the OVA they do. No mind now.
OVA don't go. You don't go chop rishi. Come here. I just let you go. I just let you go. A cabo. They'll kill Baba.
I'm retired.
Okay. Do you have a screen that you're looking at now?
Yeah.
If Bartholomew is giving you instructions on how to do gym, listen to him. Do you know why?
Why?
Okay, this is why. That's Bartholomew right there.
He's a bodybuilder.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I'll give it to him because it works on everywhere. What I can see is that in calves are mostly both of the bodybuilders. You see them be looking like a Johnny Bravo. Those that don't know Johnny Bravo,
it's a clean bodybuilder. It's a clean bodybuilder. No steroids.
These are steroids, now, one man. This is steroids. Anybody can do this. Bartholomew.
Ovie, can you hold on. Ovie.
Bartholomew, hold on. Steroids.
Hold on. We can. No, hold on. Now, let me talk. I said, let me and you bet $1,000 today. Let me go do test and post it to you. Is that okay? If I ever use steroid, they'll find out.
See, Bartholomew.
I said, can we do it? I'm asking you. I said, can we bet $1,000? Let me go do test and post it.
Highest level.
It's not answering my question.
You can think of in the world. This is steroid. 100% steroid.
I said, can we bet $1,000? Let me go do text and post. If I ever do steroid, you'll find it. Or you send me any doctor you know.
Who go do the test? Yeah, I can go in.
Send me anywhere you know.
Bartholomew, once I see you, I know this is steroid. You're a bodybuilder. You cannot feed your body purely. It's impossible.
No, you can't say
it's
that.
Impossible.
That's no, it's okay. No, one man is okay. He have his own opinion. But sorry guys.
You cannot feed your body like that without the
gentlemen, all right, thank you. Just for time, let's move it on.
Sorry about that, guys. Thank you.
That's Bartholomew, by the way. So if he's telling you about body fitness and gym, listen to him. Because that's
with steroid. You need to don't see one man. You cannot build your body like that. It is impossible for you to build your life at the end of steroid. That's the fact.
No, don't say that because you are in no position to. That's an allegation now. That's an allegation.
It is not an allegation.
One man. You don't have to be upset for me. No, one man, listen. I said, listen. Can I talk? I take this. Listen. I take this challenge. I take these challenges every day. People always ask me in the gym, what do you eat? What do you take to go to the gym? I ask them, I say, this is what I do. I get up every day, 4 o'clock in the morning, make my food to eat before I go to gym. From gym, I go to work. So I'm not gonna argue with you here. Okay, hold on. Now let me finish.
No, I just your supplement. If you put up your supplement, they will bring your supplement. Okay. You don't use supplements.
I just listen. Do you when you go to
supplement or no?
When you go to Olympic, do you use supplements?
Exactly. Now you come
okay.
to my field.
No supplement is not a. It's not a.
Have you ever seen an Olympic and Olympian looking like that? Apart from the bodybuilders.
Okay, Ovie, I just told
I'm looking like that from the body.
you are not listening. I just told you. I said, can you recommend me any? You recommend me any doctor? You are not listening.
Bartholomew, let me wade in.
All right.
Bartholomew,
Send your supplement to one man and we'll get
one man. Yes, look. Ovie and Bartholomew. Look,
those allegations, though, Ovie.
Ovie, Bartholomew. Bartholomew can tell you the city he lives. You can look it up online. Look for any laboratory you want him to go and do the test, and take the challenge from there.
Okay,
he's
now
telling
before
you,
everybody gets
hold
me wrong,
on,
that industry that is in, it is allowed. It is not illegal. It is allowed. That industry that is in bodybuilding, it is allowed.
Hold on.
So I'm not accusing him of doing illegality. No, I'm not accusing him of that. Hold on
now. Hold on. This guy told you he's not using steroids, and you don't believe him, and he threw you a challenge. He is ready to put down his money with you, and is ready to go and take a test. Search for any lab you want him to go and take his test. Let him go and take it, and let's see the fact. Let's know the truth. No,
okay.
Just leave it like that. You don't need to.
No, yes.
This guy is what he does.
No.
Let me we don't need to disagree with that. We don't need to tell him what is not.
One man. I am not accusing him because of the industry that he operates in. It is allowed.
No.
What I'm challenging him that I just atomize your supplement.
Now you've
say the name of your supplements to one man, and I will analyze them for you.
Okay. Hold on. I use amino acid by GNC. I use amino acid by GNC, and I use pre-workout. And I don't even like to take I don't even like a protein shake because I like to eat 12 egg white every day. White.
You are coming out gradually.
No,
So
I just told you. No, listen. I just told Ovie. You talk. Listen. You don't listen. I say you can search any hospital from where you are in New York. Let me go do test. I said search. Let me go do test. Let them do me test for 10 years ago. You don't listen. I said just search any hospital you know so that let us prove it. Is that okay for you? Yes or no?
Thank you, Bartholomew. Okay, no, V, please. All right, that's enough. So sorry, Bartholomew, you don't have to prove anything to anyone, and really, Ovie has no right to accuse you in that manner.
No, woman, that is the life. It's a challenge that we take every day. I take these challenges every day, so I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
All right, let me move the conversation on. Let me move.
But thank you guys. I appreciate it. Okay.
All right, brilliant. Let me move the conversation on to you better not show your camera now because you are a bodybuilder too. You're not Mr. Prestige, man of prestige. Otherwise, Ovie will accuse you of taking enhancer. But okay, man, I don't know what planet you're on.
Thank you.
Hey, one man, I don't mind sharing myself, but I'm not at home right now. I'm kind of doing something while I'm talking to you. But I'm gonna give Ovie one advice, okay? Ovie, my brother, learn the technique, okay? About push-up. That's all I'm gonna say. But keep it up. That's all. Anyway, let's go on. But it's fun, that's one thing about this platform, man. We have fun. I'm ready, one man.
All right, let me take you to the space then that Alexander Gomez was talking about just then. Tinubu bows to greet O.J. Carlos' mother whilst visiting. I'm sure you've seen the clip.
No, this is the first time I'm hearing it when Alexander brought it. What O.J. Carlos, the former governor of Abia State?
Yes.
Mother?
Yes. If you have a screen, let me show you a quick glance of it. Watch this.
Where is Mama? Mama is ready. Come and receive your guest now. Mama is coming home. Mama, I do the traditional one. Yoruba. That is Speaker of the House of Reps. How are you, ma? I'm fine. I know you. Yeah, how are you? I know you.
Oh, okay.
Tinubu that Head they shake, hand they shake, but there he is doing it double left.
This one myself, voila, too much.
Look at him. He must be
man.
dying and he's all over the place like Linford Christie. Eh?
Hey, I
Now,
told you.
campaign weapon be that too. Tinubu don't come out with a campaign weapon against his opponent. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like I was saying, I mean, we are saying handshake lady. I mean, nobody's know about his health. Like I think there's a picture came out the other day that he was sleeping somewhere, in the north when he went and visited. So I don't put too much into all those talk. We just see what happened, okay? I can't stay here and diagnose the man head, whether he's sick or not. But we see what happened. But that, anyway, what's the lady supposed to be doing for him?
No, he went to visit the son. Mommy was there, and you know what the tradition is when you have an ghost guest. Then you say,
okay,
"Mommy, look who my friend is there."
Okay, that's in Abia. Okay,
Yeah.
Abia State. Okay, I got it.
All right, let me take you to a different space, but still not to politics. This one now you probably think, oh, what a waste. Oh, what a waste. Nigerian woman killed in crash during high-speed chase with husband who was allegedly with mistress. So this is a guy that has taken his side chick out to the shopping mall to go and do whatever it is to impress her with money so that she can impress him later. So the usual routine, but then of course the wife ran into them. So he was getting in the car. So he immediately got into his car and tried to make away from the shopping mall. The wife tried to block him in, but he managed to escape. And then he was driving on, and the wife was chasing in high speed. She lost control of the vehicle, veered into like a tree. The impact was such that she lost her life. So there it is. What a shame. Man of prestige. What do you make of that?
Wow. I mean, that's a tragedy and a jealous or whatever. But hey, where did this happen to begin with? Is it in Nigeria?
In Calabar.
Oh, in Calabar. Wow. I mean, it's a tragedy. I don't mean to laugh about it, but hey, that's what you get for cheating and all that kind of things. Oh, I don't know what you make of that story. I don't know.
All right. Let me take you to a different space.
Yeah.
Zoning designed to prevent Southeast North Central from producing president. Emmanuel Iwanyamu making this headline, but somewhat controversial, and some people will say victim playing, because if the power is rotated to the south, then what prevents the Southeast from taking the ticket?
Oh, Iwanyamu. Oh man, okay, that's from my hometown. He's one of the oligarchy in Owerri. Oh, of course, he's from Owerri. But it's part of one of the oligarchy in the eastern Nigeria. My father actually, know him very well. Oh, yeah. Speaking about this situation I think if I have to comment on that regarding what how the Southeasterners has been feeling about not getting the position to begin with, this I'm sorry, I'm just busy doing something, so my thought is not coherent enough.
That's all right. We're used to that. Carry on.
Don't go there, okay? Don't go there. But anyway, the Southeastern space is a very, very dynamic situation. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that they have the opportunity. They are not playing their politics well. I'm an Igbo man. I will be very honest about that. They are not playing their politics well. Being that, there's some dynamic, that maybe play against them to a certain degree, but they should have forgotten about all those situations and rise up to the occasion and play that, their politics pretty well. I mean, look at what Tinubu did. And I'm thinking maybe there's no political heavyweight in the Southeast like it used to be. Like, when Iwanyamu has his newspaper, you remember he used to own, I think, when he used to own a football club in Imo, the national, Iwanyamu National, which I think is now the Heartland or whatever they call it, Warri. So there's no really prominent politician Imo. I mean, a very dynamic politician Imo, like we have Tinubu in the West, because Tinubu seems to be the probably the most influential, politician from the West. So Igbo people don't speak in one, they don't speak in one word, and they have not been able to produce such a political dynamic in order to orchestrate the Igbo, champion the Igbo cause. So they are lacking in that regard. I mean, if you look at the Igbo overall, this guy, what's his name? Wike, I don't know, kind of Igbo or not Igbo. I mean, depending on where he's coming from. Sometimes he claimed to be Igbo, sometimes he claimed not to be Igbo. Like what he did, I think somebody spoke a while ago. What he did to his people, I remember, killing his people, try to gain some leverage from the Southerners, because he killed a lot of his people in Igbo. I think Obibi or somewhere. I think it's between Owerri and Port Harcourt. Some of the Igbos in that area. That's particularly his area anyway. He's tried to play some politics in order to gain some leverage from the South and from the North. But look at what happened. Look at the way they sabotage him right now. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that Igbo people doesn't have a heavyweight politician to champion their cause. Everybody seems to be disenjoying. Everybody wants their own, piece of the pie. Try to want their own, leverage individually. They haven't come together and say, okay, we're going to nominate this guy, to champion our cause. I think that's what they're lacking. It's about time they stop complaining, and try to align themselves maybe with the heavyweight in the Yoruba or in the North. That is the only way they're going to come out of this quagmire, they find themselves, because I don't see anything coming soon. If you look at what happened before the election, Obi that come out right now to be the heavyweight in the Igbo land, he wasn't even influential in Igbo land, regardless he was a vice president. I'm sorry, there's a machine working at my background. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, carry on. We can hear
you. I'm sorry. I'm not inside right now. There's a machine working, like a printer. I'm sorry. Yeah, because I have to go to the office today. So he has not. Obi is not even a heavyweight in that regard. During the primary, the reason why Obi came out, Obi wasn't even among the top. Well, I think he was like among the top 10, among the top 5 or top 6 that Igbo said we're going to present as the presidential candidate. There's no unanimous candidate, that they selected. Say, okay, this is the person that's going to champion us. If you look at the Western, space, Tinubu occupied the whole space and space. I don't know, because of his very popular, his influence, nobody can even challenge him. But in the Southeast, they have like about 10 candidates. Yeah, I think about 10 candidates that came. There's nobody that is the top. Even the former Senate president, I think Anyam or whatever they call him, he's from Ebonyi State. I mean, he was top on the list, and he was one of the top on the list. Obi wasn't even the top on the list, yeah, if you really think about it. So Bina that occupied this space as the most important in that Southeast, he wasn't even close, regardless of he was the former vice president and governor for Anambra State. So I think they should stop complaining and try to find. I mean, I agree with what Ovie said to a certain degree. They should come, and champion themselves for one cause. That's the only way they're going to, actualize that position. Going by what you said, that if the presidential candidate had been assigned to the South, it should be between West and the East, being that they are the two major tribe, and judging by the West has had it, so everybody should be able to support them. But they don't speak in one voice. How are you going to say everybody's going to support you when you don't even speak in one voice? Who's going to champion your cause? I think they are lacking in that regard. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe there's some half-baked about marginalization. I'm not going to say it's not there, but it's about time, somebody come out, they have a heavyweight, politician that is going to champion their case. If you look at who is the heavyweight champion, who is the heavyweight politician in the Southeast? Nobody. Because
Peter Obi is the biggest name.
No. I'm talking about before Obi. I think I'm basing my point before Obi.
We only look at names like Okorocha, who is just a nonsense person.
Oh man, he was the governor of my state. Okorocha, that's nonsense. He can only speak grammar. I mean, he speaks well. I give it to him, but nobody respects him. I mean, remember when he was the governor, all he was doing was all this mountain pictures from all presidents all over Imo, all over where nobody respect him. He pretty much embezzle all Imo State money. So nobody respect him. Like Oji Carlo from Abia State. Regardless, he's one of the richest Igbo. I don't know how he made his money. But anyway,
guys, welcome back to the.
Hello.
Sorry, carry on. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. But anyway, so going to what I'm saying, they have to have somebody, and up to right now, I don't even know anybody that I can say beside Obi. I'm not talking about this space right now, Obi occupied, but before during the primary and before that, nobody that can, that can say, okay, this is the man. About this guy from I think Ebonyi State. Yeah, he was former PDP. So he left PDP and went to APC, hope, thinking that, he's gonna I think he went there for his, presidential ambition. But look at what happened to him. I mean, he's nowhere to be found right now. So I don't know. Up to right now, beside Obi that is occupying that position right now, I can't think of anybody from that space that will come out to say, So they need to go sit down and do their homework properly.
All right, brilliant. Brilliant. And a brief commentary on Yaya Bello being appointed as the youth coordinator for the Shettima Tinubu campaign. Is that a wise choice?
It's kind of a half-baked. Yeah, I can see I can see it as it's a wise choice, but he's a very polarizing person. If it is before about 2 years ago, a year ago, maybe I can say he's the youth champion. When remember by that time, most of these footballers and some of the youth, are clamoring for him. Even Obi Kubana, the one in Obi Kubana, Prince Obi Kubana. I think Obi Kubana and the Prince, Obi Prince, whatever they call him. All of them, even Kelechi, the football players, and the Igbo, all of them thinking that he's going to be the right one. No, but I don't think he occupied that space. But regardless, it's still a good political move, But if you ask me what kind of influence can he have with this present youth right now, because most of the youth are obedient. The way I see it, I'm not saying all of them, but overall, if you have to, in terms of youth, which is, I don't know what is youth in Nigeria, but here, the youth here in Nigeria, the youth supposed to be, I think about anybody 40 is not a youth. That's what I think. But the youth should be anything below 40. But I don't know how Nigeria. What is the Nigerian space for youth? Is that 40 below or 50?
I think it's 65 and under.
No, come on now, that's not youth.
I think you'll be wrong. I think you'll be wrong to say most of the youth in Nigeria are for obedience. That is a wrong statement. You can say most of the youth in Igbo land, not in Nigeria.
Obi has the most youth on average.
Hold on. Where did you get that?
Tell me what I don't know.
No, what I'm telling you is that you don't know where the youth of the North stand. You don't know where the majority of the youth in the North stand.
Okay, let me say South.
Hold on now. You don't know where the majority of the youth in the West stand. You are just talking of the youth of the East.
I'm not.
So
when
you are saying when I hear people say majority of the youth in Nigeria the youth in Nigeria, that's a wrong assertion. It's wrong completely.
Okay. Who
you guys don't have any fact to that effect?
Can you give a point? Can you say who the most of the youth are clamoring for?
No, that is what I'm telling you now. Those youth you are seeing clamoring for Obi are majority Easterner, 90% or 95% Easterner.
So are you going to tell me what happened in Plateau over the weekend? About 2 million, they're all Southeasterners. What are you talking about? Or what happened in Taraba?
Do you know the populations of people in Plateau State, in Jos? Do you know?
I don't know. You don't know either.
Yeah, I know that in Jos they have a lot of large population of Igbos. In Jos, go and find out. Yes.
I don't know.
You know that Igbos are scattered all over that place too. They run a business, and they are for obese.
Yeah, I mean,
so
at least
they come out
in
their thousands for him. You can't ascribe that people in that state or the youth in that state are for obese. No.
I'm basing my assumption on what I've seen. So because I don't really visit that much of. I don't really visit the space of the southeast a lot, because I know that place has been taken already. I mean, that's what I assume, So if I'm trying to look politically, I look at different regions. Besides the southeast, I look at the south, southwest, north, or middle belt. That's where I'm looking at, see where the politics is coming from. And when you come to Tinubu, I'm not here probably already taking the whole west. So I'm not going to be, seeing where he's getting his vote from. So that's the way I look at it. I mean, the Igbos are scattered, maybe about 40%, I don't know, up to 50% of Igbo are not living in Igbo land. So, so that may be the case in that regard. But you telling me that 90% or 80% of the people in Plateau are, coming out for that Igbos. No, I don't buy that. But you have your own opinion.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Go on, Mr. Ed.
I think if that is the assertion, then that a lot of Igbos are everywhere. I think that should be a threat, right, to the other parties, right? Because then you have all the Igbos coming out in Nasarawa. They are coming out in Plateau.
How do you describe a lot of Igbos as everywhere? What are you trying to make out from there?
No, you said it. You said it.
When I say a lot of Igbos are in Jos and in other cities as well, running their business, it doesn't mean that you consider the majority of those states.
But what you said?
That's what I said. I said a lot of When we say a lot of people, I don't mean that you constitute the majority of the people in that state. But we know
that's what I was saying. So what I'm saying is that Man of Precious was saying that there was the 1 million men march. I don't know if it's up to 1 million, but there was like a huge crowd in Plateau for the rally over the weekend for OB. And he was saying that, I think you said that, there's a lot of Igbos there, making the assumption, I guess you're trying to make the inference, right, that, it could just be like a whole bunch of Igbos who live there, who are coming out, to support him. But it was like a huge crowd there. So I'm trying to understand whether or not you believe that in those crowds, that you'll say 90% of those crowds, it's like Igbos? Is that what you're inferring?
I hope you didn't say that.
I'm trying to understand. I'm just asking. So what does
when you look, the number of people you see demonstrating or chanting or be on the street does not constitute majority of the voters. There's no way you can be more than the real indigent in their own soil. So, but what I'm telling you, that Jos, I think Jos is Plateau State. Is it not Plateau?
Just Plateau, yeah.
Or Benue. I think it's Plateau. So
no, it's Plateau.
It's Plateau. So you can't tell me that obedient are more than the APC that control the state.
But that's not what the argument is about. You start.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Let's forget about it.
Because Men of Perceive said majority of the youth in Nigeria are following Obi. I said it is not.
And then you
majority of those youth you see chanting Obi, they are Igbos.
I completely disagree with you.
So I do agree with you that Men of Prejudice say most of the youth, So there's no way. I think that's just an assumption that I think is pretty much.
So because when you are saying majority of the youth, you are bringing the combination of Yorubas, Igbos youth, and every tribe, ethnic groups youth together, and they constitute majority supporting Obi. That is what that means. And I said it's not. That is not true.
No, I agree with you on that, and that may not be true because we cannot prove it, that indeed the majority of the youth, I don't know what constitutes youth these days, in Nigeria. So, but then again, you said, that I think the premise that I think many people are making is that any type of support that's attributed to Obi is being seen as, oh no, they are just Igbos, right? So when you start to see all these groups coming up in different cities, across the country, for Obi, then the narrative that no, they are just Igbo, they are just Igbo. So I'm starting to think maybe these Igbos people, they are kind of spread all over the place. So I'm sure he's going to get, maybe if that's the case, is it likely then that he may get 25% across different, cities in the country? Is that likelihood then?
Let's wait. Time will tell. Okay. Result, election result will tell. Let's wait until then.
Yeah.
All right. All right. For time. Thank you, Man of Prestige. For time, let me take the conversation in the direction of Mr. Ed, who couldn't hold it back. So hold it back no longer, Mr. Ed. zoning designs to prevent Southeast North Central from producing Nigeria's president. So this is Emmanuel Nwanyamu, of course, a name that we have been conjuring with in Nigerian politics for decades and decades. So a man that often speaks sense, but is there any sense in what he has to say this time around? Mr. Ed, let's hear you.
No, I think the sense is in the political class, right? The political class, and maybe even with the a specific political party. That's where it's maybe relevant. But I think if you come to the general election, when the populists have to vote, it's completely irrelevant. Because we can see now what Obi is doing, even though, say he wasn't within his part, within the PDP or APC, maybe he couldn't get, the ticket there, but he stepped out of those two major parties, and it's, gathering support, whether you call it Igbo support or not. I think time will tell, onto the election. So I don't think there's any, there's a grand design to say, hey, the presidency will rotate, because there's nothing in the Constitution that's to say presidency will rotate. I think actually that argument is actually dead now. I think that argument was relevant when you have a one party, when PDP was dominating as a one party, because then you can have, they bring out, somebody from the South, he becomes president, then the next, it has to go back to the North. But now that you have two parties, APC and PDP, so if PDP gets into power now, but for example, then essentially, then the North will still rule for another 8 years after Buhari has run for, ruled for 8 years. So you have two parties with different, zoning, let's say zoning sequences. If you have 3 parties maybe in the future, or 4 parties or whatever, how you going to try to make sure that every party adhere to the same type of rotational zoning, and plus those zoning has to be sequential to make sure that if one party wins the presidency, the next party, even though the zoning to the south the next time, even though the presidency was from the south from a different party, how's that going to affect another party? So I think this argument is kind of arcade, in my opinion. I think it doesn't have any relevance anymore.
Oh, all right, brilliant. And to the space, the appointment of Yahaya Bello as the youth coordinator for the Shettima Tinubu campaign, an inspired choice or a faux pas? Mr. Ed. Oh, we lost him. Oh, I was off the screen. Oh, we've lost Mr. Ed. So thank you for that, Mr. Ed. So suddenly he dropped off. He did say he wanted to go quickly, so maybe I didn't get to him quick enough. So Mr. Ed, sorry about that. So let me take the conversation in the direction of Collins. So Collins, are you ready to go?
Yes. I'm on my holiday. We're bearing the wind today. So.
Oh yes, of course. It's a bank holiday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you been trying to avoid all the because it's starting to rankle with me somewhat. So I try to switch off all devices just to get the day over, because there's only so much of it.
Obviously, if I had it on, I probably wouldn't get on the platforms.
God Almighty. But quickly to it, then matters more important. How notorious bandit Bello Turji escaped bombing. So this is a guy that's a cat with 9 lives, you might suggest. They've been trying to get him. Even they narrowed it down to where he was having a party. They sent the fighter bombs in. Only that the minute that he stepped out to go and pray, that's when they were dropping the bombs. So this guy escapes again. But are we seeing now a push to end this insurgency once and for all?
Well, at least they're trying. Even though there when these people, once you've allowed a criminal to accumulate so much wealth, they have a lot of it becomes harder because they have people in their payroll, even in the military. I wouldn't put it past anybody that somebody probably called him to tell him what was gonna happen. But now they are trying, they finally, showing that they want to do something about it, and I commend them. I know that it's not easy because they allowed it due to the nepotistic tendencies in Nigeria, they allowed it to go out of hand. But at least maybe Buhari just trying to save face now. I don't know, but they're doing something.
All right. And to this space, Nwanyamo's comment that the zoning arrangement will permanently exclude the Southeast and the North Central. So is there any veracity to that? Is there any merit to that assertion?
I think I'm going to go with the guy that just spoke. I mean, with PDP, clearly they've shown that there was never, they didn't have such plan to for the Southeasterners to come into play. But the reason that I'm still very hopeful in everything going on right now is that I'm really hoping that in the future, people will go past this whole, because let's look at it how it's designed. Because if we're using the delegate system, you have to count people coming from East senatorial zones. So if based on that already, Igbo people are already shorthand because they have 5 states, so they're always going to be in the minority anyway, which means that the job that another person from the other region needs to do, an Igbo man will need to do more than that to even begin to assuming that you win the whole areas in your place, which then makes it which I believe that makes it them to even doubt themselves even before they start, because they feel like they're starting from a disadvantaged place. And there was another guy that said something about Igbos not uniting. I really don't see any region that unites when it comes to politics. I think they all play. We all saw how Osibanjo and other people fought really hard. They wanted it. Osibanjo for me wanted it, so it wasn't even a case of people just allowing Tinubu to take anything. Just that Tinubu had more relationship with people to finally get him the ticket. But I'm hopeful. We have 18 parties. Even though that I know that 18 of them might never get to test power, I'm hoping that in the future that we will go past, we will keep trying these parties and probably rejecting them until we finally get one with some kind of, what's the word that I'm looking for? So with some kind of idea, that kind of stick to something, that we get to know what they stand for.
All right, brilliant. Let me take you to this space, Collins. Not yet commentaries on this, and it was even the headline of the session. Nigerian government grant 16 trillion waiver to Dangote, Honeywell, others amidst ailing economy. So these are tax breaks, tax exemptions, concessions, etc. All to the tune of that working amount. Just doing the rough calculations, we're in the region of about 40 to 50 billion dollars. But then, of course, they write off all this tax that they could legitimately collect, only to go cap in hand to China. What are you making then of the upside down economics of the Mala from Daura?
You know what? That is that is why it's always when people claim that they want to lead a country, and they see it from a very narrow angle. I think this is what you get. I mean, this is headline that you've just read now. So I would not know the details that made them, or what they might be injecting back. I mean, these companies, that makes them think that this is the right thing for them to do right now. Because we both live in the UK, we see how government is fighting about taxing the oil or the energy companies and every other thing. Some are against, some are for it, because they believe that they will invest back that money and grow the economy. So I really, really hope. It's just that looking at the people in the team, the caliber and everything that they've done for the past 7 years, I do not believe that these people do anything with sound from a very economic sound background or something. They just do it because they probably want to favor someone or something. But assuming there is actually something that was thought through and they found it to be the best thing for them to do, I mean, they will not be the first in the world to do that, depending on what they're getting back or what the country will be getting from that.
All right, brilliant. And to the lady that was in hot pursuit of her husband and his side chick, only to veer off the road, run into a tree and lose her life in the course of tragedy twice, double whammy, Collins.
Well, it's rather unfortunate. Unfortunate for the lady that died, and also unfortunate for the man that now have to grieve the woman, even though that I'm a little bit hesitant to say that he played a part in it because well, so sometimes I always wish that women sometimes could if you know that your husband is cheating and it's something that you cannot deal with. I'm a big advocate of people walking away when it's not working for them. So, but clearly in this case, she was doing what she believes to be the right thing to do, which most people will support her. But look at where it ended up. There will be children now left without their mothers, assuming that they already have kids. There will be a man, this man will forever regret what he did, but the woman is gone anyway. So what I really would want people to, I would want people to get to a place where they are not afraid to be by themselves and to walk away from any relationship that doesn't give them everything that we promised from the beginning. Once you cannot deal with a man that cheats, instead of following him around or looking at his phone and every other thing, just walk away. But if you decide to stay, then don't go pursuing somebody in that kind of state, because she was already she shouldn't even be driving in that situation. But look at where it landed. It's a tragic one for both.
It's unfortunate, but the conversation between the man and the now deceased wife's family, that conversation.
It would be really, really hard, but by the end of the day, they've lost a daughter, and this man will move on and give it a year or two, he will marry another person, if not this same lady.
His IG.
Yeah, so that's why I'm always I tell people, I tell my wife that as well. I'm like, I love myself more than I love any other thing in the world, and I encourage her and any other person, put yourself first. When it gets to a situation or a place where you feel like you cannot handle or deal with a certain thing, work away. It's not that it's difficult, but probably this woman had walked away a week ago, because I don't want to think that this is the first time that she's suspecting this man to be cheating. So there must have been signs and everything that led to this point. If after everything that she couldn't walk away and it got to this point, well, it's tragic. There will be a lot of family whatever over the years and ever, but this man will move on and he might end up living another 70 years plus whatever years he's already spent on earth. And 5 years, a lot of people will forget about this woman, aside from her kids.
All right. And have you spoken on the Yahaya Bello space, the appointment of as the youth coordinator? Is it an inspired choice?
Nothing APC does really inspire me that much, and I'm going to just be go straight on that. You know, nothing they do inspire me. I've listened to the man a few times. For being a youth representative as a governor, I don't think he has done the clamor for the youth leadership very massive justice. You know, I just looked through him. I really don't pay a lot of attention to him, to be honest. Even when he came out, he said that he wanted to be president. I just thought that he was a big joke, you know, and at the end of everything. So I don't think it makes any difference. I think they're always going to have Kogi, and I think that is still where his impact or influence will end. I don't see it going beyond Kogi State.
Oh, all right, brilliant. All right, brilliant. Thank you, Colin. So thank you, Colin. So Colin's 4 times. Let me go on from you to Ajanle Koko. So stay with us. So Ajanle Koko, to you. Let me take you to the space then. Zoning designed to prevent Southeast North Central from producing precedents. So this is Umayanwo speaking. But what are your thoughts on that, Ajanle Koko?
Yeah, greetings to everyone around the world listening to us. Click on the like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Umayanwo is just not categorical with his statement that if they keep doing the zoning between the north and south, it will, when it comes to the south, it will usually go to Yoruba, as we saw in the case of APC. He didn't want to say it categorically so that he won't face criticism in that respect. So, however, it is a position that if they should macromanage it, that will be easier for the Igbo, you know, because he is aware that the Igbo doesn't play their politics well when it comes to national politics. They don't influence others around the country as they are expected to. And that is why they couldn't have upper hand at any time there is for the position of president. You know, they don't connect well with other parts of, they didn't reach out well. Let me say reach out. They don't reach out well to other parts of the country. And that is the problem. Because Igbos are one of the 3 major majority ethnic groups in the country. Why can't they have the presidency if they play the the politics well? What make it possible for the Fulani, who are even minority among the northerners? What make it possible for them, you know, to dominate, to always, you know, be relevant in the national politics? And Igbo cannot play such, such role. So I think it was just trying to say it, that it is better to micromanage and microzone it instead of giving it to the whole South. So, I believe he identified the problem that the East and the South doesn't agree well. They don't agree on political issues. Many, many times they don't agree on the same political. They don't have the same political interests. Their interests, most of the time, not aligned. So that has been seen in the past experiences, past political history. In the Second Republic, they were not together. Azikiwe was the leader of MPN. He controlled the whole of Igbo land, while the South did not join the political party with him. They aligned with the North in the MPN. So the same thing happened in the Third Republic. The Igbos were more of NRC. The South were more of SDP. So particularly on the presidential, the Igbo did not vote for Abiola. Majority of Igbo did not vote for Abiola. I think we have 3 states back then, or 4 states in the East. It was only 1 state, which was Anambra State, that voted for Abiola. The rest voted for Tofa, while the South in entirety all voted for Abiola. So in this dispensation we found ourselves, you can see that if Igbos and the South have played their politics well, these positions, they are the strength of PDP. You take out the Southeast and South, that you don't have PDP anymore. PDP will just be like a regional party, just like Kwankwaso party. But still, they couldn't agree among themselves. And that's why Atiku was able to win. Still, the Igbo could not even agree among themselves. Don't let us say Igbo versus the South. Even among the Igbos, they could not even give it to, what do you call him, Obi. They were scattered among themselves. So he knows the problem well, and that is why he is saying that the continuation of South, shifting between South and not microzone the position of presidency, will be difficult for Igbo to get the presidency because they don't play their politics well. I think that is what is trying to say right there. So, and that's the fact. I hope they can improve on how to play their politics well, and do better, in the future. So that's my take on that, woman.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. So Ajanle Koko, to the Yahaya Bello space, his choice as the youth coordinator of the Tinubu Shettima campaign. Is that an inspired choice by your reckoning?
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's a good decision by the Tinubu's presidential campaign team. They have all the facts. They know that Yahaya Bello is the face of the youth in their party. And they went for him so that they can bring all the youth across the country into the fold. And, they can go all out, to work hard, for Tinubu's presidency, because Yahaya Bello, we have seen what he did. The way he invited, what do you call that? Those footballers as part of his, campaign team when he was contesting for president. He had this, what's the name of those footballers and all those. So it was, and he had that Abiola daughter, who is all like a youth too, as the head of his political director of his campaign organization. So Yaya Bello is connected to a lot of youth within the party, and that's why they give it to me. So it's the right choice, and you know they know it better. They've seen it, the way he, you know, the way he positioned himself during the time he was contesting for this position, the way he was able to mobilize the youth from all across the country to Abuja. They saw it. They know his impact. So, and that is why they give him that position. And I think maybe it could work well for him. And, you know, Yaya Bello, he can talk like youth sometimes, though he's not a youth, but at least he know how to mobilize them. He know how to cajole them that he's a youth. He look young as well. When he put on polo and sneaker and cap, yeah, he looked like you know, one of them. So I think it's the right choice, woman, and that is why you see the spokesperson of the campaign organization praising that decision, and well, let's see if it could work well for them.
All right, brilliant. And to the space, Nigeria are gifting away 16 point something trillion in tax breaks to Dangote and the rest, whilst the country goes cap in hand to go and beg the Chinese. Is that economics by your reckoning?
No, it's just a way of it's a total mismanagement of our resources, giving so much out for Dangote and some others on the pretext that, okay, they are going to build road, they are going to build this. I think the government will have saved a lot of money. They wouldn't have spent 1/4. They will have spent less if they have taken all those revenue from those people and then awarded the contract to capable construction company, and you know, they will have spent less and they will have make more money. They will have saved a lot of money to do some other thing, to invest on maybe education, healthcare, and as well build road and other infrastructure as well, than this fraudulent way of giving out our resources for free to their friends. So they just allow, you know, it's just a way of sharing the resources of the state among, and looted it among themselves. That is the way I see it. It will have been better. They will have done more, saved more, and achieved more if they have collected those taxes and then prudently manage it well. If, you know, but when you have people in the position of authority that are poor managers, this is what will happen to us as a country. They don't have people that are good managers that can, you know, prudently manage the resources of the state well, and that's why those are the things they lack, and that's why they cannot really figure out what they can save, how much they can achieve, and how much can be done with such
Are you there, Ajanle Koko?
regarding that give away fund to their friend. So that's the way I see it. It's just senseless. What have they achieved? How many roads have we seen? Have the state of our decaying infrastructure improved now? What have we seen? That amount is,
you know, it's about $50 billion by my estimation.
One man. The budget.
You faded, Ajande Koko, you faded.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, carry on.
Our budget for 2020, I think that amount is 16 trillion, right?
Yes.
Okay, our budget for this year is 17 trillion. That was the original amount budgeted before they went and before they apply for what do you call it, supplementary budget. 17 trillion. Imagine, do you know how much 17 trillion can build? How much it can, what we can use to have 17 trillion naira, give them for, concession and all these things. It's just, well, don't even let us talk about it. It's just
it's quite depressing,
it's just insane. I mean, a lot of our people should be crying when these people are showing it to us, and they're doing it and continue to show it that yes, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just a waste of resources. They wasted our resources, stashed it, looted it, stashed it away in foreign account, and just squandered our resources, for the interests of themselves, their colleagues, their associates, their friends, like Dangote and all the rest of it. What has it done? If they have used that money to award contract to Julius Berger and some other construction company in that country, it will have created more jobs. They will have created more jobs. That will have stimulated the economy and generate economic growth. And a lot of people will have been taken out of poverty, because when construction, in this advanced world where we live, when government give out construction, give out contract, for infrastructure, it creates millions of jobs and take people out of poverty. And then the effect on it on the economy, it's usually huge. It will transform the economy and will create more wealth and energize the economy. And the government will even make more money, more taxes out of it, because people that are paid will pay taxes. Organizations that are awarded contracts will pay more taxes, and government will, use those taxes to better the life of people. But they gave it away, and out of all of these, how many jobs does the economy create? It was supposed to create jobs.
Half of the giveaways was to China.
Oh, God.
So the money is not even within circulation in the country, not even our own looters. It's the foreign looters.
And China, like you said, they will bring all the workforce from China to do the job that should have been given to our to Nigerians, or they will bring their people to come and be doing the job, and they took that money, and their people will come and they take it back to China again. Bad leadership. This is what they gave us. We saw it when the House of Assembly was interrogating, what do you call this guy? Amechi, the other day. And this corrupt guy from Lagos, what did they call him? Bajabia Miller came and stopped that congressional probe. He came in, he stopped it, and he said this cannot continue, just because they were exposing Amechi and their government the way they are wasting the resources of that country. He came in. We have the video. We play it here and stop it. And that was the end of that congressional interrogation. And that since then, we never had anything. One man, it's we enter one chance. I mean, now waiting at the top.
We are done for. We are done for.
We don't enter one chance. So it's just a waste of resources. People that when you have mediocres in position of power, this is the way they waste your resources and they put a lot of people in poverty. Look at all that amount wasted away. And we have our students, we have ASUS, we have students out of school, we have everything. We health workers are preparing to go on strike. The electricity workers, those one went on strike the other day. Strike upon strike from one professional body to the other. So it's just right now in Abuja today, the student, the nuns, those guys on the street demonstrating. Yeah, as a matter of fact, they block all roads to the airport, and there was a demonstration in Abuja today in solidarity by nuns. So for ASUS, so it's a waste of resources, one man.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, John Lekoko. So thank you, John Lekoko, and thank you everyone that has come on. So fast past the hour allotted. So we round it off here. A real delight always in everybody's company. John Lekoko having the final word as always. So I'll leave it there. Carry conversation on within the comment section. But here I say peace.